Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Infinity, and this is Magnetize Yourself, where we talk about life, love, spirituality, and of course, the law of attraction. Thank you so much to all of you who are tuned in to today's reading. I am sending you all huge amounts of love and light energy. I hope that you've been having a really wonderful week. And I'm really actually feeling guided to start off today's reading with a Star Seed Oracle deck card. So these cards often relate directly to your personal mission and purpose here on Earth, which is why I love this deck so much. So let's see what message we can get from here to start off the reading. So what do those tuned into the reading today need to know most at this time? Okay, so the first card we have here is 𝙭𝙭𝙩𝙀𝙀. Longing for home, homesick for the stars. And I'm actually going to read a short guidebook message from here as well. Okay, so the guidebook says, 𝙭𝙭𝙩𝙀 is a Welsh word that's difficult to translate, but it refers to a certain longing or homesickness, a yearning for a home or a place to which we cannot return. This unexplainable, unshakable longing for home is common in starseeds and old souls. Perhaps you've had it since birth. If you resonate with this yearning for home, but don't really know where home is, you're being invited to remember that your soul chose to be on Earth. You're being called to fully commit to embodying your life. You're being reassured that you didn't come here alone, and that your soul consciously decided to experience what it's like to be a soul in a human body on this planet at this time. You're being called to anchor all of your presence, your personality, your soul, and your spirit in the here and now, to commit to fully living this life right now. Commit to putting 2 feet completely. So, wow, I don't normally start off these readings with a guidebook message, but I feel that there's a really powerful message contained there for someone listening, particularly about remaining grounded and anchored in the present moment and really opening that sacral chakra energy. That's been a huge theme of recent readings, allowing yourself to fully enjoy this physical human experience, to be fully open and receptive in the present moment, and to allow yourself to be intuitively guided through the present, through being present, rather than trying to sense out into the future or connect the dots behind you. So I'm going to pull a few cards from the traditional tarot deck while I'm shuffling. If you would like to tune your energy into the reading more strongly, you can do so by liking the video and subscribing to the channel. I would love to have you here as a co-creator in our beautiful soul space here on YouTube. Now we have the 4 of Pentacles in the upright position. And I'm picking up that with the full moon in Gemini that we have just gone through in the month of November, for those of you listening to this reading around the time that it's being posted, things may have come to the surface that were being held on to, that were requesting to be released in a sense energetically in order to clear and purify your aura and allow you to stay in more close alignment with your true core soul frequency and therefore with your soul's highest path here on Earth. So I'm actually getting this kind of mirrored energy where either this could be something happening to you internally, but equally this could be something that someone external to you is going through themselves. And we might be picking up on the dynamic because the two of you are energetically bonded or connected in some way at this time. So either you have had things brought to the surface that have been asking to be released. These could be patterns, certain connections that you may be needing to set boundaries with in your life. This may be certain patterns of thought or emotion, certain behaviors. This really has a kind of cleansing or detoxifying like energy. Some listening may even literally feel guided to cleanse or detoxify something in their living space, their environment. You might feel guided to nourish your physical body in some kind of a new way. We are getting the 9 of Swords here as well. Interesting. And another card flew out here. The Temperance card. So I'm getting a very clear message for someone who may have felt a lot of heavy energies, particularly coming in connection with this 4 of Pentacles card. So if you were feeling as though things were brought to the surface to be released in your life or within yourself around the time of this full moon in Gemini, the experience of realizing things that may need to be released or boundaries within yourself or with others that may need to be set, whatever the case is, this could have actually been a very intense emotional experience for you. Now, if this is something that someone external to you is going through, it may be coming up on your reading because you may actually be feeling some of their heavy emotions through energetic transference because of the bond between you. So if you've been feeling feelings that you might label as negative or a bit stressful out of nowhere that don't really have a known cause, this actually could be the energetic transference from the person externally you're connected to who is realizing that there are many things in their life that they need to release or let go. But what I'm getting as an outcome here from this deep detoxification, this cleansing of sorts, is actually a very positive message that this process of detoxification, whether that's happening energetically, emotionally, mentally, physically, this is actually bringing your life into balance with the Temperance card in the upright position. This is bringing in a great deal of peace and harmony. There may even be something specific here about releasing these particular patterns, allowing someone to actually harmonize or stabilize a soulmate or some kind of deep soul connection. So I actually want to pull a few cards from the Energy Oracle cards deck, and I want to know what someone has been releasing here with the 4 of Pentacles. Okay, so we have the Healer of the Ages upright, and I just heard you can't control someone else's healing process. Wow, that felt really intense for someone. I'm definitely picking up on the energy of someone here. It may be a divine feminine. I am getting that for many of you. But of course, these labels, divine feminine and divine masculine, apply to energy dynamics. So they could apply to an external person or situation, of course, but we also each have a balance of these energies internally. So the messages could be applying to your internal divine feminine or divine masculine. I always like to mention that just for anyone who might be new to the channel. But anyway, for those of you who are resonating with this as a divine feminine, I'm getting that a divine feminine here may have had a powerful realization. Now, this most likely didn't happen all at once, meaning this is something you've known for a while, but it may have somehow come into focus in a more powerful or clarifying way around this full moon. This realization that you cannot control the speed or the way in which someone else heals themselves. So you cannot do the healing work for someone else. And specifically, This may be relevant for a divine feminine when it comes to a particular masculine energy in your life or from your past. There may have been a time where you really tried to actively be the healer for a masculine energy in your life, whether that's platonically, romantically, where you tried to be the bridge, so to speak, to their own healing. But this full moon is bringing through the realization that at this point in your and their soul's evolution, to attempt to be the bridge in their healing process really only enables them in the sense that it prevents them from doing the necessary introspective work that needs to be done for them to take accountability for their own healing, with door to personal healing and happiness in the reverse position. So around this full moon, realizations may have come to the conscious surface of your mind around people in your life. Again, it may be a masculine energy, romantically, platonically, a family member, a friend. There is this powerful realization that everyone is healing and shifting and evolving at their own pace, and that sometimes when we attempt to be that bridge in other people's healing process, we can dilute our own energy in the process and simultaneously prevent them from doing the necessary introspective work to really fully reconnect with their inner selves. I also feel that around this full moon, there has been a lot brought to the surface of the heart space because we have the broken heart card in the reverse position. I'm hearing the words self-abandonment. So there may be someone here. Again, this could be a divine feminine, realizing ways in which in the past you may have abandoned or betrayed yourself for someone else or for the sake of pleasing others. And I just feel this renewed sense of strength and confidence coming out of this full moon as we are kind of exiting that window of energy. I feel this refreshed sense of confidence and this ability to really show up for yourself fully and completely and no longer abandon yourself for the sake of pleasing anyone else. So I powerfully heard from someone's guides that the right people will show up for you and support you when you are supporting and showing up for yourselves. So I just feel this renewed sense, specifically within a divine feminine, of really surrendering connection to the universe generally, whether that's romantically or platonically, and really focusing on that connection to self, showing the self unconditional love, and really allowing those who are aligned with her energy of unconditional love to connect with her in that energetic space. So can I get any more details on this deep heart healing happening within a divine feminine? Okay, so we have the third eye chakra reversed, the solar plexus chakra reversed, walking away upright, and the temple path was kind of hidden at the bottom of the deck, which speaks to this whole dynamic we're going to be channeling into, actually powerfully realigning you or aligning you more closely with a very high vibrational pathway. Every time I pull this temple path card, I also just generally hear the message, you are on the right path. I take that as a very powerful sign of confirmation. So maybe a divine feminine listening was literally asking themselves, am I on the right path here? Now, I am beginning to pick up on a masculine energy who might be mirroring you, divine feminine, as you are really deeply reconnecting with yourself. It seems that this masculine has been noticing that, and energetically, because of the bond between you, your focus on yourself is creating a very magnetic energy between the two of you within this connection. Now, this masculine does seem to be thinking very heavily about you with the thinking man upright. I will say that it seems as though there has been something that they try to intuitively ignore or deny, meaning they were trying to block their own intuition when it came to something with the third eye chakra reversed. But this was something that spirit would not allow this masculine to deny or repress. This could even be their connection to you that just kept resurfacing or coming back into their mind. This was something that they simply couldn't allow themselves to ignore or repress. And I really feel them beginning to lean into that intuitive knowing instead of trying to repress it. With the solar plexus chakra reversed, though, although they're leaning into their intuition here, they also are moving forward feeling a little bit shaky when it comes to their sense of confidence. I do feel that whatever masculine we're channeling here, they may have walked away. The word separated is coming up here. I'm not sure why. They may have walked away or separated from something, a situation, a job, a relationship, a pattern recently that has left them feeling a little bit shaken in the solar plexus when it comes to how they perceive themselves, how they view their world, and their level of confidence. And that may be playing into why it's difficult for them to take action on this intuition that they're leaning into, because again, it's almost like they're lacking a little bit of the confidence here and really getting in their head about it as well. So I want to channel a bit more from this masculine energy here. So how is this masculine thinking or feeling towards our beautiful divine feminines? A lot of cards wanted to come out. Okay, so we have deceit and also strategy in the upright position. So this masculine feels as though in their physical 3D world, they've been living in illusion. That's what I see with this deceit card. Living their life on autopilot, not really feeling fully connected to themselves or their life. However, I feel them very much in their headspace, planning ways to make positive changes to kind of pull themselves out of that dynamic. With the strategy card here in the upright position, can I get more on this deceit card? How is this masculine living an illusion? Okay, because they've been living so heavily through their ego, because we literally have the thinking man coming up here again, which is my dominant ego card in this deck. So essentially, this person's mind has been out of balance with their deeper inner emotional world, and the mind has been winning out. So there's not really been a balance between this person's constructive sense of logic and reason and their deeper emotional feeling. In fact, I'm hearing for the sake of their lifestyle or the current structure of their life, this could be relationships in their life, dynamics, the work that they do. There's something about the routine of their life, or at least the past routine, that has really required them to completely deny their deeper inner emotional world or disconnect from it completely, and to live completely from their sense of logic and reason. And this is why we're getting the deceit card. I heard you see right through it. So this could be leading to a very complex dynamic, divine feminine, because you see right through that illusion. You can actually see what's on this person's heart space before they can really see it themselves. In a sense, you almost know this person's heart better than they are consciously aware of their own heart. With the sacral reversed, I see that a dominant obstacle to this connection is that this person's blocked sacral chakra energy may cause them to act avoidant to the very things that they actually desire or want to experience. So they may have difficulty actively showing love and affection in the physical 3D world, because again, this is someone who's been so disconnected from their inner emotional world that my spirit guides are showing me like a bike with training wheels. And it's like this person is trying to master and connect with their own emotional world. And metaphorically, that is like riding a bike, but they have to have the training wheels on and go really slow to begin getting their balance. And so, of course, in this metaphor, that means this process of this masculine beginning to share their emotions, beginning to show affection more visibly and noticeably is definitely going to be a gradual kind of process here. But I do see them feeling persistent about it, feeling committed to that path of emotional growth, at least at this higher self level here. Now, we do have the Sun card, the Yin Yang card, and the Caring Connections card is also coming up here again as well. And I see these cards representing this standard that you, Divine Feminine, are holding. Now, some other card just wanted to fly out of the deck. Okay, and this is the Contract card in the upright position. This is very often my Karmic card. Very interesting. So what I'm getting here is that, usually this Contract card means karmic in my readings, but for some reason, what I was actually getting from this card was a firmness, like a determination to hold a line or to hold a standard. And what I'm getting, Divine Feminine, is that you are fully shifted into this timeline of love, of connection, of abundance, of freedom. And I'm hearing you've closed doors to any other lower vibrational timeline potentials for yourself. Now, what this means when it comes to connections, such as the one that you might have with this particular masculine, is that you are really holding the standard for some of the very things that they are struggling to show or to do within this connection. Although they have that desire to be on that path of emotional growth, it's a very gradual process. And you're over here very much up in this crown chakra energy. You may feel this almost exhilaration, especially around today or the last few days. I was getting this uptick in the energy as the full moon window energy began to wear off a little bit. There was almost this pull up in the energy where you could sense this almost exhilaration for this unfolding new timeline. Now, if you haven't experienced that yet, we all do experience time and the unfolding of these energies a little bit differently. So this could be something coming for you if you're still in that heavy place. But I do sense that, Divine Feminine, you might find there's this newfound lightness around you, or that's coming very soon, as an indication of how fully you shifted onto this higher timeline. I'm literally seeing the number 2222 on the recording timer right now, but I'm seeing that you're holding that standard for connections that are truly aligned with you when you are in that self-supportive energy of unconditional self-love. Because of course, unconditional love shown towards this self is an equivalent energy to unconditional love emanating outward. That is why unconditional self-love is such a powerful vibration-raising tool. And I see you really actively having utilized that tool. I keep getting the number 14. That could be the year 2014 that's significant to someone here. I'm not sure why that's coming up. But with the Sun card, this represents again that new, fresh, exhilarating energy that you are stepping into on this solidified new timeline. And with the Yin Yang card, yes, this card can indicate a twin flame connection, although that doesn't necessarily have to be the case. I'm hearing give and take. So really what I'm getting from this card is that you, Divine Feminine, are holding the standard for a connection that has a very balanced give and take dynamic, one that is equally reciprocated. And so you are kind of here holding that bar, holding that standard energetically. And the question kind of remains, who will be able to align with you fully and harmonize and stabilize a connection with you at that higher level? And that is really why around the full moon, you may have been asked to fully release any sense of urgency to solidify a connection right away, or any sense of responsibility for someone else's healing, but rather to realize you are the one holding the standard. You are the one holding the space, energetically speaking. and allowing others to make their own free will choices as to whether or not they are going to rise to meet you at that standard. And this requires a really radical level of surrender. This is no easy task. And that is why surrender has been such a major theme, particularly for divine feminines in this last year. Okay, so I want to know more about this masculine energy, how this situation could potentially be moving forward into the future. Of course, these are just timeline potentials. You have the ability as the alchemist of your life to align with any timeline you desire to create or manifest in your life. These are just the strongest energetic potentials that I'm picking up on. So what I'm getting right away is that, first of all, now and moving into the future, this masculine is going to continue feeling this very strong admiration for you. And the thing about that is this is sitting on the root chakra, which is most connected to the conscious mind. So that admiration is going to become increasingly conscious. They've always admired you at a really deep spiritual level, but those admiring thoughts are going to start popping up in the middle of the day. I'm hearing they're not going to be able to escape it. And this is because you fully in this next chapter of your life, I'm hearing remaining focused on yourself, your passions, your creativity, your whatever you consider to be your soul's mission here on earth, which of course can be anything. You in this energy of self-focus is highly magnetic to this person, and it's highlighting to them all of the reasons that they admire you in a very conscious way. I'm hearing obsessive, so thoughts about you might even start to feel a little bit obsessive to this person as well. And they're going to become very consciously fixated on the fact that they desire to connect with you in that higher vibrational place that you've shifted into, to align with you on that higher timeline. Now, I do see that with indecision reversed and the third eye chakra reversed, there's going to be the energy of decisiveness coming in around something that this person has been putting off, procrastinating, or kind of repressing. Like their intuition has been nudging them to say something or to do something, and they've been kind of ignoring these intuitive nudges, but that's going to shift into more of an energy of decisiveness. Now, for those of you who know that this masculine is dealing with a karmic feminine in their life, this decisiveness could be around fully releasing that karmic relationship. Or if this is, for example, a karmic friend or a mother, a family member, this could be seeing them more clearly and beginning to set stronger boundaries with this person. Now, with Angel of Balance reversed, I do see that, and this won't be for everyone. I'm getting this is only for those of you who are aware of a karmic situation, whether that's a thought pattern, an addiction, a relationship in this person's life. Whatever this is, who I'm speaking to here, this has kept them out of balance. In fact, that may be the very thing that has kept them in that state of really having a lack of balance between their ego mind and their deeper emotional world. And so clearing this karmic energy out of their field and out of their life is actually going to allow them to bring greater balance in, because it's going to allow them to feel some of those repressed emotions and to hear some of that repressed intuitive guidance that they may have ignored or disconnected from for the sake of keeping this karmic dynamic intact. This truly is a spiritual opening, an awakening happening for this masculine with door to spirit in the midway position. Moving into the future, they're almost going to feel as though they're kind of back and forth, kind of in a limbo state, what we might call 4D. So of course there's 3D, and then there's 5D. Many of the divine feminines are very much embodying that 5D energy of freedom, abundance, joy, connection. Whereas the masculine coming up here, shifting into the future, is going to be moving more out of 3D, out of that ego-dominated way of living. But they're going to feel a little bit lost or a little bit in limbo in that 4D kind of state, almost feeling as though they're between ways of being or thinking, kind of between worlds here. So what else can I channel about this situation moving forward? Ultimately, the dominant thematic card coming out here at the end is Magician in the Mirror upright. So although again, this masculine may feel as though they're kind of in limbo between 3D and 5D, I do ultimately see this balancing out taking place within their life. That seems to be the strongest energetic potential here. And if you do desire to connect with this person more consistently in the physical world, however that looks or whatever you want to define that as for yourself personally, I do see windows of opportunity opening up for that, but it has to come from this state of energetic balance within them and within their life. And that is such a strong message coming through this reading, is that the divine feminines are really being asked to release a sense of responsibility for this person and for their healing and energetic shifting process. And to really stay in that mode of self-focus. Again, that's actually what's creating the magnetism here, what's actually really pulling this masculine through their healing. It is that focus on yourself, that learning to connect with yourself and love yourself more unconditionally while focusing strongly on your own personal passion, mission, whatever that is for you in this world. So wow, very, very powerful reading coming through today. I am so appreciative to all of you who are here as co-creators of this reading. If you would like to continue on this co-creative process and join me in the extended version of the reading on Patreon, we will be diving deeper in the extended on any others that may be attached or connected to your energy at this time. These could be romantic, platonic, or spiritual energies. We'll also be channeling more messages from the masculine who's been coming through in this reading. I'm sure they will make an appearance in the extended as well. And of course, we will be channeling any other details or pieces of information that want to come through that extended video. So the link to join our Patreon Soul Tribe and access this extended reading, as well as all of my previous library of extended readings, the link for that is in the pinned comment and description box underneath this video. The final card to close this first reading here on YouTube is Star Mother Arrakis. So I'm just going to read a little bit from the guidebook here. Star Child, Earth Angel, Divine Creature, your Star Mother keeps an eye on all the wild games happening in the sacred playground of the earth. She will care for you. Righteous and true, shining divine justice and protection. And the guidebook says, no matter how dark life on earth may seem at times, when we remember our holy heritage, we can also realize, yes, I am blessed, held as one with the Mother who shall not be deterred with great holy purpose. I shall prevail. I forgot that and feared, but now I remember and am determined once more. Then you shall live free and enjoy and be inclined to dance, to sing, to make your art, and to live fearlessly once again. There is only the loving truth in your world, and all is at peace in your heart. So that feels like a beautiful place to close this reading. If you do feel a resonance with my energy, I invite you to subscribe to the channel, join our beautiful community of like-minded, conscious, creative beings here on YouTube. You can also follow me on Instagram at Magnetize Yourself. And of course, if you feel guided to it, the link to the extended version of this reading is in the pinned comment and description box underneath the video. Otherwise, I am sending you all so much love today. Have a beautiful remainder of your day and weekend, and I will connect with you here again in Monday's reading.